Hey everyone, welcome to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? I'm your host, Jeff Metric. Today we're tackling the fascinating question of how do we introduce libertarian ideas to the Republic of Turkey? Now, some of you might be wondering why? Why Turkey? Well, Turkey has a rich historical tapestry bridging both Eastern and Western cultures, making it a unique environment to explore new political philosophies. So let's dive in. A quick refresher on what libertarianism is. Before we get into Turkey's context, let's make sure we're on the same page about what libertarianism is. Individual liberty. Libertarians believe in maximizing personal freedom so long as your choices don't harm others. The second part of libertarianism is limited government. Government's main role should be to protect life, liberty, and property. Beyond that, it can easily become intrusive or ineffective. Free markets. Libertarians value voluntary exchange and minimal state intervention in the economy, believing it fosters innovation and prosperity. Personal responsibility. Greater freedom goes hand in hand with personal accountability. People should be free to help themselves and each other in voluntary ways rather than through government mandates. That's how it should all be. We should come together because it brings us together if we can voluntarily help each other. Keep these points in mind because they'll act as our guiding framework as we explore how these ideas might fit into Turkish society. Understanding Turkey's unique context. And there's a lot of history here. Turkey's political and cultural landscape is shaped by several important factors. The first of these is a historical legacy of centralized power. The Ottoman Empire was highly centralized. Later, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk founded the modern republic, enacting major reforms to secularize and unify the nation. This means Turkey's state institutions have historically been strong, and government influence has played a major role in shaping public life. And that's true, but it's very beautiful. Secular versus religious influence. Turkey balances a secular tradition enshrined in its constitution and the religious and cultural practice of a predominantly Muslim population. Any new ideology will have to navigate these delicate intersections. East meets West. Geographically and culturally, Turkey is a bridge between Europe and Asia. It has a diverse population with varying perspectives on economic openness, social freedoms, and Western influence. Aspiration for modernization and democracy. Turkey has long aspired to join the European Union and to be recognized as a modern global player. Many Turks value progress, economic development, and global integration. As you think about introducing libertarian principles here, remember that Turkey's strong governmental tradition and complex social dynamic means you can't just copy and paste a Western libertarian model. It needs a thoughtful adaptation. Now let's talk about some points where libertarianism could resonate. Economic freedom and entrepreneurship. Turkey has a vibrant entrepreneurial culture. Take a look at the famous bazaars, bustling shops, and rapidly growing tech sector in cities like Istanbul. If you highlight how limiting bureaucracy and easing tax burdens can empower small businesses, you'll find a receptive audience among people who already value trade and innovation. Personal liberties. There's a growing demand among younger generations for personal freedom, from freedom of speech to lifestyle choices. Emphasize how libertarian protects these freedoms by keeping government out of your private life, letting people express themselves and innovate. Now, community is very important in the Turkish culture. Voluntary community support. Traditional communities and family networks in Turkey are very strong, showcasing how voluntary cooperation and private initiatives can handle social welfare rather than solely relying on the state. This can resonate with people who believe in communal responsibility but might be wary of government inefficiencies, and we see that all the time in government. Respect for religious and cultural diversity. Libertarianism, at its core, defends the right of individuals to practice religion and maintain cultural traditions freely. If you can demonstrate that freedom of choice is inclusive, protecting both secular and religious lifestyles, you can garner support across many different segments of society. Addressing common concerns. Of course, people in Turkey and anywhere else may have reservations about libertarian ideas. Here are a few common concerns and how you might address them. The first one, and this is the biggest one, is fear of losing social programs. Many worry that if the government pulls back, essential services like healthcare or education will disappear. Reassure them that libertarians don't oppose safety nets. They believe in diverse, decentralized solutions through nonprofits, community organizations, and private initiatives that can be more agile and less bureaucratic. Another huge one is maintaining national unity. A strong central government has often been seen as a stabilizing force in Turkey. Now, you'll need to explain that local governments and individual freedoms don't have to be weakened, don't have to weaken national unity. In fact, they can strengthen it by allowing regions and communities to tailor solutions that best fit their needs, fostering a sense of ownership and cooperation because one size doesn't fit all in any country in the world. Now we have Western ideology concerns. And this is a very true thing. Some might see libertarianism as a purely Western import that doesn't fit Turkish culture. Highlight the parts of Turkish history, like certain trade guilds in Ottoman times, or modern-day family and neighborhood networks that already function on the principle of voluntary association and mutual benefit. Emphasize the values Turkey has long embraced, such as hospitality and neighborly support, which aligns perfectly with voluntary cooperation that libertarians wholeheartedly believe in. Now, this is one that all humans experience fear of rapid change. Societies do not shift overnight, especially not ones with deep historical roots. Encourage incremental reforms and open dialogue, showing that libertarianism can evolve side by side with Turkey's existing institutions and social traditions. Now, here's some practical strategies for anyone who wants to communicate about libertarianism in Turkey. And I'm sorry, I don't speak Turkish, by the way. Now, let's talk about how to effectively introduce these libertarian ideas, whether through media, conversation, or grassroots efforts. Use accessible language. Avoid academic or abstract jargon. I will use that sometimes. Connect policy ideas to everyday life. For instance, talk about how deregulating a small business can help families in bustling Istanbul neighborhoods or the rural village. Share real-life examples, success stories from around the world, like how reducing red tape can spark startup booms, make abstract ideas more tangible. Point to a local Turkish business or NGO that thrives thanks to fewer bureaucratic barriers. Because the less bureaucracy you have, the more you can be a free society. Highlight shared values. Don't frame libertarianism as something alien or imposed. Instead, find overlaps between libertarian ideas and Turkish cultural values, such as generosity, community support, and respect for individual dignity. And these are all hugely important in any society, in any country, not just in Turkish society. Engage influencers and thought leaders. Collaboration is key. Work with Turkish academics, journalists, and civic leaders who are open to exploring new perspectives. Hosting talks, writing op-eds, or appearing on local media channels can help spark public interest. And this is a huge thing, and you'll see who really opposes it. Encourage open dialogue. Finally, be patient and respectful. Encourage community discussions, Q&A sessions, and debates can show that libertarianism welcomes critical thinking and open discourse, qualities that many people admire, especially in the wider world. Now let's put a bow on this because it's time to have a good day and go out and do what we do. All right, so there's our dive into how to introduce libertarian ideals to the Republic of Turkey. And let's just recap real quick. Adapt libertarian principles to Turkey's unique context by focusing on economic freedoms, personal liberty, voluntary community support, and religious/cultural respect. Because that's what it is. It's about respecting other people's cultures and religions. Acknowledge people's concern about social welfare, national unity, and cultural authenticity, and all those are very important. Use relatable language, local success stories, and common values to help people understand libertarian perspectives. Stay patient, open to dialogue, and always emphasize cooperation. We're talking about freedom, not isolation, because no one really wants to be isolated in this world. Thank you for joining me on Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Have any thoughts or questions, drop them in the comments below. I will respond to them. I'd love to hear how you think libertarian ideas could thrive or face challenges in Turkey. This video came about because someone actually mentioned in one of my other videos, how could we talk about libertarianism to Turkey? So until next time, I'm Jeff. Remember, new videos drop every day. Stay free, stay informed, stay accountable. Have a great day.